Hello, and congratulations for taking this in-depth plunge into nutritional science. I'm Dr. Fuhrman, and I've been passionate about studying nutrition and applying nutritional excellence as a therapeutic modality to reverse disease for more than 30 years. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to help thousands of people get off their drugs and make complete recoveries from serious illnesses. In this course, I'm going to discuss the dietary portfolio that contains the most powerful anti-cancer and longevity-promoting foods that I call a Nutritarian diet. And when you eat so healthfully, you naturally and instinctually lose your desire to overeat. What I'm saying here is that diets to lose weight almost always fail because people can't control their caloric drive when they don't consume sufficient nutrients. The term nutritarian represents an ideal diet style or a person eating ideally to maximize human health span and lifespan. The fact that you enrolled here in this masterclass tells me you recognize that the diseases afflicting most Americans can be avoided and lifespan enhanced and lengthened by understanding superior nutrition. The Nutritarian diet is designed as the pinnacle of nutritional excellence, the gold standard of all diets to maximize not just your health, but your brain power, maximizing your productivity, creativity, so you can have your full mental faculties right until the end of your 100-year life. Wouldn't you love to live to 100 in great health, with your full mental faculties and abilities right till that last breath? This information helps you develop a diet style that's complemented with supplemental recommendations consistent with recent advances in nutritional science, using the preponderance of evidence to maximize health and offer protection from cancer, heart disease, strokes, and dementia, so you can live without fear and enjoy your golden years. The other important topic on this agenda is how to achieve your most favorable weight and keep it off for the rest of your life. You know, that's the critical component of maximizing your health and lifespan. You have to achieve a normal weight and stick there forever. The disease statistics of Americans are really dismal when you follow a standard American diet. 30% of Americans die of heart attacks and strokes, and about 30% die of cancer too. We can avoid these tragedies. We don't have to have a heart attack. You don't have to have a stroke. You don't have to get cancer. That's right, we can prevent more than 90% of common non-smoking related cancers, such as breast, colon, and prostate cancer. And my life's work demonstrates that how to do this, how to exactly do this, and the science that supports this claim. The standard American diet, often called the SAD, Standard American Diet, SAD, has left us in a sad state where it's normal to be overweight, normal to be sickly and in poor health, and even in pain as we age, and then develop high blood pressure, diabetes, memory loss, and heart disease. We can divide food into three categories: processed foods, animal products, and unrefined plant foods, or produce. Americans eat about 60% of their diet from processed foods and about 30% from animal products. That means Americans only eat about 10% of calories from produce and just a few percent from whole grains, plus most of the produce-derived calories come from white potato and ketchup. The lack of natural plant foods, particularly fresh vegetables in the American diet, contributes to our country's high rate of heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. When we eat like other Americans do, we don't just experience a premature death, we also suffer for many years before dying. You've seen it. There's lots of sickness, discomfort, and the use of invasive medical procedures and futile medical procedures before the person actually dies. This doesn't need to happen to you. Sickness and disability are not the normal consequence of aging. When we adopt a diet that's naturally rich in all the nutrients the human body needs for optimal health, it offers powerful disease protection. Lots of people want to believe that a diet that's not as healthful is good enough, that what you choose to eat hardly matters, and that a diet that's less nutritionally favorable is just as healthy as a diet designed to be richer and broader in nutrients. As stupid as this sounds, People want to convince you that a diet that's less healthy is just as healthy. I'm making this radical claim that it can be normal or expected to live a disease-free life, and that we can maintain a normal weight, the same most favorable weight, our entire life. When you eat a diet that's naturally rich in all the nutrients humans need, you desire the right amount of calories. And it's normal to live a life into your later years, past 95, in excellent health, with your full mental faculties intact and without pain. That's, of course, the whole point of a Nutritarian diet, a diet designed for excellent health, which allows you to enjoy life to the fullest. The first and most fundamental principle that defines a Nutritarian diet is maximizing nutrient density. The other three principles that you'll learn in later sessions include comprehensive nutritional adequacy, hormonal favorability, and of course, the fourth, which is avoiding harmful substances such as chemicals. The first principle, maximizing nutrient density, is represented by my health equation, H equals N over C. The H stands for healthy life expectancy, meaning the quality of your life in your later years and how long you're going to live. Then N divided by C is your nutrient bang per caloric buck. So your health is proportional to the nutrient density or nutrient per calorie ratio of your diet throughout life. If you eat lots of foods that are rich in nutrients per calorie and consume a diet with lots of nutritional content for that number of calories, you can earn great health. If you eat lots of foods that are low in nutrients and high in calories, junk foods, processed foods, white sugar and white flour and oils, calorie-rich, low-nutrient foods, you shorten your life accordingly with every single bite. When we're talking about nutrients here, I'm referring to micronutrients. Micronutrients are vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and phytochemicals. They have critical functions in the body, and they don't contain calories. By the way, there are thousands of phytochemicals in colorful plant food, and they're all valuable. Our body utilizes thousands of plant-derived nutrients to achieve excellent health. It needs these thousands of nutrients. Of course, you've heard about vitamins and minerals, but there are many different families of micronutrients and phytochemicals, such as carotenoids, which have potent antioxidant effects preventing oxidative damage, and flavonoids, which enable signaling pathways within our cells. And these micronutrients have many different critical functions in the body and the brain. Deficiencies or insufficiencies of micronutrients damage our health, accelerate aging, and gradually accumulate damage in the body year to year. And micronutrient insufficiencies are ubiquitous across almost all Americans. Insufficient vitamin and mineral intake is so common in Western populations, especially in the United States. More than half of our population takes in less than the recommended amount of vitamin C, and more than 75% of the population consumes less than the RDI, which is recommended daily intake, for vitamins A and E. You know, we look at fiber, magnesium, all this stuff is way below the RDI. Over 90% of adults consume more than the tolerable upper limit of sodium, while only about 2% meet the RDI for potassium. Most Americans also do not consume recommended amounts of folate from food, which is about 400 micrograms, though many exceed the tolerable upper limit for synthetic folic acid from fortified foods and supplements, which most likely increases the risk of cancer. You know, the most unusual thing is we're taking these supplemental things made of synthetics that can increase risk of cancer, and those nutrients are present in natural foods that are in the best form that maximize human lifespan. In other words, synthetic folic acid is shown to be a cancer promoter and not the same chemical substance as real folate found in vegetables. These broad-spectrum micronutrient insufficiencies are ubiquitous, largely because American diet is deficient in vegetables, fruits, beans, nuts, and seeds. These insufficiencies have far-reaching consequences and lead to chronic disease, premature aging, and a premature death. Remember that vitamins and minerals don't each have one or two functions. they have many different reactions throughout the body. For example, low magnesium intake, as seen in SAD eaters, is linked to increased risk for osteoporosis, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, stroke, cancer, and sudden cardiac death. There are hundreds of micronutrients that SAD eaters are low in, not just magnesium, and it's not surprising when we look at the typical American diet and see all the diseases Americans get. Hi, I just wanted to take a moment and thank you for watching this masterclass. We're all so busy in our lives today, and I know how time is incredibly precious to every single one of us. The time you spend on your own self-education, such as going through this masterclass, is the best investment you can ever make for your future. And that's why I'm so passionate about sharing this information with you, and why I encourage you to not only own the masterclass for yourself, but for your family as well. When you take a moment to upgrade and own the masterclass, you'll receive a free package to give to a friend or loved one. We are giving you a buy one, get one free offer because we know how much you care about your friends and family, and we want you and them to thrive for years to come. I'm honored you're here with us, and I hope you can take a moment to see all the valuable bonuses you're receiving when you order today. With that said, let's continue with the rest of this module. I have more valuable information to share with you. Now, calories come from macronutrients, not micronutrients. Macronutrients are called macro because they are the nutrients that humans need in higher amounts, higher quantities, and water is a macronutrient, but the other macronutrients are the calorie-containing nutrients, fat, carbohydrate, and protein. It's well established in the scientific literature that excess consumption of macronutrients, meaning calories, shortens human lifespan. Said in another way, most people eat more calories than they need, significantly shortening their potential lifespan. In fact, most people in the modern world are consuming almost twice as many calories as their body needs. I always say, half of what you eat feeds your needs and the other half feeds the needs of your doctor. I hope you got that one. Eating less does extend primate lifespan. However, being too thin, such as an anorexia, is not healthy either. We need to eat enough to maintain a normal weight with appropriate skeletal and muscular strength, while at the same time maintain a favorable and relatively low body fat percent. With proper weight-bearing exercise to maintain appropriate musculature, we can maintain a healthy weight and still reduce caloric intake significantly. So here are the 5 words I want you to memorize, most important things for this first module, because this is the most proven methodology to slow aging and to live longer, of course, as encompassed in these 5 words, supported in the most proven scientific studies. In other words, the only proven methodology to extend human lifespan is this: moderate caloric restriction, that's 3 words, in the context of micronutrient excellence. That's the other 2 words. Write that down and say it to yourself daily: moderate caloric restriction in the context of micronutrient excellence. Everything you put in your mouth matters. You become what you ate in your past. What I'm saying here is a piece of chicken is like a bagel. Why? Because both are concentrated sources of calories. They're rich in macronutrients, not micronutrients. The chicken is mostly protein and the bagel is mostly carbohydrate, but neither one contains a significant micronutrient load. And they both do not contain any protective antioxidants and phytochemicals. The amount of antioxidants and phytochemicals in one's diet is the major factor determining one's risk of developing cancer. If you take a quick look at my nutrient IQ scores here on this table, you'll note that vegetables contain the most nutrients and animal products and processed foods and oils contain very little. I used 36 nutrients all combined into one number that are tracked by the USDA. These calculations make it easy to see that green vegetables have the greatest nutrient density of all foods. Other colorful foods such as tomatoes, mushrooms, eggplant, peppers, carrots are also rich in nutrients per calorie, Animal products, of course, are relatively low in nutrients, and processed foods really low. That is one reason hundreds of studies show green vegetable consumption is linked to longer lifespan. By the way, when you achieve micronutrient adequacy, your hunger diminishes and changes, and your appetite normalizes. What I'm saying here is that it's almost impossible to succeed on a diet and lose weight and keep it off forever without focusing on the quality of what you're eating. When you eat low nutrient foods like white bread, cookies, cold breakfast cereals, chicken, and pasta, you become a calorie-consuming monster, and it becomes impossible to remain at a favorable weight. To start this process of revamping your health and weight, I want you to start eating a big serving of cooked green vegetables with your dinner. They can be frozen vegetables that you just defrosted. My favorites are frozen broccoli florets, frozen artichoke hearts, and frozen asparagus. Eat at least a cup every evening, or take some raw greens and wok them in water, or dip them into boiling water for 1 or 2 minutes just to blanch them. You can flavor them with a dukkha powder, and even use a hummus or a salsa dip. Don't worry, I'm teaching you how to make a dukkha and to flavor vegetables. But there's no getting around it. Without a high intake of greens, it's impossible for a Homo sapien to be healthy and live long. I've actually put my favorite dukkha recipe right for you here, and you can download it on this page. All right, excited to be working with you. Looking forward to seeing you in module number 2 coming up.